We got shirts on sale. Express your love for the evolutions and the new channel rebrand with an evolution t-shirt and hoodie. On sale now. Also, if you like anime, go check out our anime channel MysticSage for awesome anime content. And be sure to follow me on social media so you can stay caught up with the channels and me. Links will be in the description below. In the past tier on the Best Team series, we tackled the team composed entirely of Legendary Pokemon and Mythicals. Well, this time, we're quite literally taking a step down from that idea and making the best team for Pseudo-Legendaries. This team, like many in the series, is built for Ultra Sun and Moon, and usage on Pokemon Showdown, so as much as it disappoints me, I won't be able to throw on Dragapult this time around. Trust me, I'd have loved to, but as of right now, at the time of making this video, there are only 5 Pseudo-Legendaries available in Sword and Shield, thus keeping us from having a full team. Let's get right into things now and see just what team of hard hitters I decide to throw together this time. So, as is customary here in the Best Team series, I'm going to be starting off with our Mega Pokemon. There are quite a few pseudos that Mega Evolve, including Metagross, Tyranitar, and Garchomp. Those 3 are all tremendously good Megas, though Tyranitar less so, I suppose. But still the point stands. However, there is one other Mega that really caught my eye as an extreme powerhouse, and took the Mega slot on this team. Salamence was the big winner tonight, and it's majorly thanks to that great Aerial Aid ability. Mega Salamence has a base attack of 145 as well, which will really complement its ability. Aerial Aid will make all normal moves that Salamence uses flying type, thus giving it a stab boost if it goes for a move like Return. As we all know, there are many physical normal type moves, and so Salamence will definitely be taking advantage of them. This Pokemon is really no pushover when it comes to speed either, as it has a base speed of 120, and worth mentioning as well as a 130 defense. Essentially, Mega Salamence is just really good, and while you guys already knew that I just couldn't talk about it without bringing up these great stats. So if stats as good as these, I'm sure you're all wondering exactly what I'm planning to do. There are options for a Mega Salamence, as it does have a 120 special attack, which would open the door for a possible special set here. However, I want to keep things a bit more traditional and just focus on making Mega Salamence hit incredibly hard, physically, and move super fast. With that in mind, I'm giving this Pokemon 252 EVs in attack and 252 in speed, as well as making it adamant, so it'll hit even harder. With those boosts applied, Mega Salamence will have a beautiful 427 physical attack stat and a pretty respectable 339 speed. There is more you can do though, so don't expect these stats to stay where they are at, as you'll see momentarily. Mega Salamence is headed into battle with the moveset of Dragon Dance, Double Edge, Facade, and Roost. Like I just said, those stats are definitely going to change, and that will be thanks to Dragon Dance. With Dragon Dance, Salamence will see an uptick in its attack and speed by a stage with each usage. Just one usage of the move will give Salamence 640 attack and 508 speed, and you can pretty much safely assume it'll outspeed mostly anything. It is worth noting that using Dragon Dance can be a risk due to the chance of Salamence being cracked with an Ice type move on the first turn it is used, so I would go make sure to pick your spots carefully and try not to set up against any sort of Ice type Pokemon or Hidden Power Ice. Honestly, if you're not already set up with a Dragon Dance, I would recommend not even being out there against an Ice type to begin with. The next move is the first of a couple of offensive options, leading off of Double Edge. Double Edge has up to 33% recall to Salamence's health when it connects, so if you one-hit an opponent with it, you can expect to lose around a third of your health. Losing HP like that can be really dangerous for a Pokemon like Salamence that would definitely be taken out by one special or fairy type move at that point, though it is worth it for the amount of damage done. Thanks to Salamence's ability, Double Edge will become a flying type move, and thus Stab will boost the base attack of Double Edge all the way up to 180. That's gonna smack anything like a Mack truck, and you'll probably one-hit plenty of Pokemon. Possibly even those that resist flying if they don't have a lot of physical defense on them to begin with. Following Double Edge is Facade, which is a pretty good move that will see its power doubled if Salamence is dealing with a status element like Burn or Poison. Essentially, thanks to Stab, the base power of Facade will become 105. And then if someone thinks that they're gonna get the upper hand over Salamence by burning it or poisoning it, then you'll end up with a move even stronger than Double Edge that will allow Salamence to keep on fighting until it eventually goes down from its ailments and general damage done to it. Alternatively though, if you don't just want a move that is base 105, unless you're either losing health constantly every turn or having your attack cut in half, you can use Return. Return will be stab boosted to 153 base power at max happiness and is a great alternative if you don't want something that can be seen as circumstantial power. Finally, rounding out this moveset is Roost, and it's definitely one of the more important moves on this set. You'll get back 50% of your max health if you use it, and when you turn the Double Edge as your main dealing move, it's important to have a way to regain health. A nice little added bonus with Roost as well is that it'll remove the flying typing from Salamence for the turn it is used, so you don't have to worry about having times for weakness to ice anymore, as long as you move before the opponent does. This whole moveset is super destructive, and while it might seem like Salamence has a lot going into it, that might limit its time on the field. Trust me when I say that if you use Roost in an appropriate way, you should be absolutely fine and have access to this strong Pokemon for possibly the entire battle. Next up, we're going to turn to another flying dragon, the Gen 1 favorite Dragonite. Some of you might be a little up in arms about me including another Pokemon of the same typing when there's other non-flying options available, but hear me out here. Dragonite has the tremendous ability Multiscale, which halves the damage Dragonite takes when its HP is at full. In a world while there are many countermeasures for Dragon types like Moonblast and Ice Beam, this is a great ability to have, making it yet another great physical attacker on this team. Dragonite is graced with a wonderful 134 base attack, and we're only going to juice it up some more by making it adamant and giving it 252 EVs and attack and speed. That 259 speed isn't all that much to write home about, but the 403 attack is just incredible. That is a great attack stat for a Pokemon that isn't Mega Evolving, and definitely one of the highest on this team. The 323 base HP that Dragonite has to work with gives it some moderate bulk as well, but the not so great defenses are something we're gonna have to work around. Dragonite is going to be turned into a fast physical sweeper with the moveset I've given it, and its item will help a little too. Dragonite has the Lumberry, which will remove any status condition from it once in a battle, from sleep to confusion to a burn. My moveset for this Dragonite is going to be Dragon Dance, Iron Head, Roost, and Outrage. Dragon Dance is pretty imperative to Dragonite's success, as we're hoping to get at least one off, and doing so should be very possible if our Multiscale remains intact upon switch in. Dragon Dance ups the user's attack and speed by a stage when used, and you can probably imagine just what the ramifications are if one or two are set up of Dragonite's beautiful 403 attack. Following up, we've got Iron Head, which offers Dragonite all the coverage it needs against its three major weaknesses: Fairy, Ice, and Rock. All of Dragonite's weaknesses, outside of the obvious ones, are handled by one well-placed Iron Head, and it's incredibly useful. Plus, you guys know how much I love this. It's got a 30% chance to flinch the opponent. I then give Dragonite the move Roost, so it can recover its HP and hopefully end up taking advantage of the effects of Multiscale all over again. Remember, in order to have the effect of Multiscale kick in, you need to be at full HP, and Roost will go a long way in helping that cause. The more turns you find yourself at full HP of Dragonite, the more opportunities you're going to have to set Dragon Dance up. Finally, the extremely powerful Outrage makes an appearance. It's going to be the move you're going to want to use the most, taking advantage of Stab and being made ridiculously strong thanks to the boosted attack stat Dragonite should end up with after you're satisfied with the setup. The next Pokemon on the team is Johto Pseudo, the incomparable Tyranitar. T-Tar is quite a legendary pseudo-legend, being a fan favorite and also one of the strongest Pokemon at the time of its debut. It is of course still a really good Pokemon now too, and that Sandstorm ability is a big part of its success. Whenever Tyranitar switches into battle, it'll start up a Sandstorm, and that will help you guys out in really annoying the opponent. Tyranitar has got itself a good base attack stat at 134, so I wanted to focus on that of course, and give us another powerful physical attacker. T-Tar's special stats are completely useless though for the most part, so we definitely aren't focusing on them. I added 252 EVs to the attack and HP stats, and helped push its HP over 400, and its attack as well, following yet another boost to the stat from the adamant nature I've given it. There is nothing we can do for the poor speed stat, so adding bulk to this Pokemon with the boost to HP was my only way of combating that unfortunate reality. I like the idea of making Tyranitar even stronger though, so I gave it the Choice Span, which will bring its attack from 403 to 604. But keep it locked into whatever move it goes for. So Tyranitar is going to be rocking out with Stone Edge, Earthquake, Crunch, and Iron Head. Stone Edge is a pretty obvious move for Tyranitar. It's the strongest rock type move it has access to after all. It's got a high critical hit ratio, but only 80% accuracy, so it's not a guaranteed always land. It's worth the risk though, as if Tyranitar's incredibly high attack and that chance to crit, there's a real chance it could do major damage to anything you're facing. Next is Earthquake, yet another extremely strong move like Stone Edge, except this time with 100% accuracy. This will be your best option against fighting types if you end up in battle against one, though I definitely suggest never leaving T-Tar in on any sort of strong fighting type Pokemon. Next up we have Crunch, which takes advantage of Tyranitar's other stab and provides a 20% chance to lower the opponent's defense by a stage. It's got 80 base power and is a better option than Foul Play since it'll be using that sky high attack of Tyranitar's instead of whatever the opponent's Pokemon attack stat is. Finally we have Iron Head, which will be useful against the fairy types that Tyranitar might have to go up against. As always, Iron Head has a 30% chance to flinch the opponent when it contacts, which is a great added bonus to an already useful move. Again, Tyranitar's speed really messes with things a bit, but it's a thrilling gamble to send it out and see what the 604 attack stat can really accomplish when given the chance. Did someone say more physical attackers? Well, don't worry, because I've got you covered. I'm bringing you the all-powerful Metagross up next. Metagross is an incredible physical attacker, and we're definitely going to be using that way with this build. Metagross is one of the 2 Pseudo-Legendaries in Generation 3, and even without Mega Evolving, it's a pretty big threat. It'll be using the ability Clear Body, which will prevent its stats from being lowered. I suppose Light Metal is an option too, but it didn't really mesh well with the moveset I built. Metagross starts off with base 135 attack and 70 speed, and we're going to go ahead and make it exceptionally stronger with 252 EVs in both of these stats. Its attack is going to be pushed right above 400 once we apply the Adamant Nature as well, and its speed will head up to 239. With an attack over 400 and defense over 300 as well, Metagross isn't as impressive as a Mega Evolution, but you're still left with a tremendously powerful Pokemon. I can't forget that item either, which in this case will be the Life Orb. In exchange for 10% of Metagross's max HP, its attacks will do an extra 1.3 times damage. Metagross is going to have a pretty competent moveset of Agility, Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt, and Meteor Mash. We've got a set that's only using the stab Metagross has access to, and it starts with Agility. The user of Agility sees their speed stat go up by 2 stages, and in Metagross's case, it's going to go up to 478 after 1 usage, which is definitely enough to outspeed most Pokemon right off the bat with their own stat boost taken into account. The next move is Bullet Punch, and since it has priority, it can be used without much worry, even if you haven't set up with Agility yet. Bullet Punch will be boosted from 40 base power to 78 with Stab and the Life Orb, making it a very good priority option. The next move is Zen Headbutt, which makes use of the Psychic type Stab. Zen Headbutt has a Stab and Life Orb boosted 156 base power with a 20% chance to flinch, making it something that not only will hit for hard damage, but also give you a good chance to prevent your opponent from even making a move before it's inevitably taken out. Finally, there is Meteor Mash, a boosted 175 base power move with 90% accuracy that boasts a 20% chance of raising Metagross's attack by 1 stage. This is very important to the moveset, as it acts as a powerful stab move that will bolster an already insanely high attack stat. The idea of Agility, making Metagross faster than almost any other Pokemon, and then allowing it to hit for a 175 base power move that offers a chance to make it stronger is a scary one, and something that people are going to immediately fear in battle. Even without being the Mega, Metagross is a dark horse option for the best Pokemon on this team. Well, I think I've oversaturated the market enough with physical attackers at this point, so why don't we have some special power now? I had an option here between Goodra and Hydreigon, and I decided to show Univus some love and pick the latter. Hydreigon is a pretty good Pokemon, even with its very dangerous typing. I'll preface things right now by saying you never want to leave this Pokemon out against a Fairy type, which I think is pretty much common sense. Hydreigon might be good, but it is not good enough to tank a Moonblast from a Gardevoir or anything like that. However, what it can do is take any ground moves thanks to its ability Levitate. It's like you're throwing on the flying type without any of the weaknesses that come from it. Hydreigon is a fantastic special attacker, so I of course decided to add on to that stat as well as its speed with my usual 252 EV spread and the Timid Nature. Those added on give it 349 special attack and 324 speed. That isn't all though, as I'm also going to be putting on the choice specs to make it hit harder as a special attacker. It'll be locked into whatever move it uses, but that move is going to be hit using a cool 523 special attack. Speaking of those moves, let's take a look at them. Hydreigon will be using Dark Pulse, Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, and Flash Cannon for its moveset. Dark Pulse is the big move I'd say you should get used to using with Hydreigon in battle, being boosted 120 base power by Stab. It's got a nice 20% chance to flinch the opponent, and a powerful move like this having such a nice secondary effect can making it an addicting choice in battle if the circumstances are right. Following it is Draco Meteor, which definitely is the strongest move on Hydreigon's set. It's boosted by Stab to 195 base power, but using it even once will drop Hydreigon's special attack by 2 stages, so you should be ready to hard switch out if you end up using it. If you want a Dragon type move without such a drawback though, there is the much weaker, but still useful, Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse is stab boosted to 127 base power, and while it has no secondary effect, it'll be a nice move to turn to if you want to preserve PP and Dark Pulse, or if you're against a Pokemon that resists the Dark typing. Finally, there is Flash Cannon, which is here for coverage. It's got 80 base power and a 10% chance to lower the target's special defense, but the reason it was featured was to be the defense against the Fairy type Pokemon if you happen to have no choice but to face on in battle. It's your only chance on this moveset to actually go toe-to-toe with the Fairy type, though even then, your odds of victory aren't that great. We now reach the final pseudo-legend, and that's going to be Alola's Kommo-O. It's yet another dragon, but this time we have the awesome fighting type backing it up as well. Also, it's one more physical attacker, but I much preferred including it over Goodra for one big reason: its own Z move. The Commonium Z helps turn the move Clanging Scales into Clangorous Soul Blaze, a move we'll get into a little later. While I could have gone a route that took full advantage of that 125 base defense and perhaps crafted some sort of physical wall, it seemed best to choose Kommo-O as a hard-hitting right now type of Pokemon, where no setup is needed and it gets straight to the point. I gave this pseudo 252 EVs in its speed and attack and the Jelly nature, bringing those attacks up to 285 and 319 respectively. Also, I ended up going with Soundproof for the ability for this Kommo-O rather than Bulletproof. Bulletproof didn't seem to make much sense, as many of the moves that are covered by Bulletproof don't really work Kommo-O anyway. There was also Overcoat as its hidden ability, but that didn't seem all that worth it either. So Soundproof, if is just in case it runs into a Mega Gardevoir or something running Hyper Voice. Gotta say though, even if you do have Soundproof to handle that move anyway, if you're a Kommo-O facing off with a Mega Gardevoir, you probably should get out of there. The moves I picked out for Kommo-O are Clanging Skills, Drain Punch, Poison Jab, and Close Combat. Like I mentioned earlier, Clanging Skills is part of the set to go along with the Commonium Z, which turns into Clangorous Soul Blaze. Clangorous Soul Blaze remains a Dragon-type move like Clanging Skills, and its base power shoots up to 185 from Clanging Skills 110. The real nice part of the signature Z move though, is that all 5 of Kommo-O's stats go up a stage following a successful hit. I should also mention that if you do end up going back to using Clanging Skills after Clangorous Soul Blaze, it's going to lower your defense by a stage with every usage. So you should keep in mind that while Kommo-O gets a 1 stage boost in all of its stats, it has 2 moves at its disposal that lower its defenses when they're successful. Close Combat packs such a massive punch though, with the base 120 attack, that it's very much worth the defense drops. Following that, we've got another fighting type move, Drain Punch. Drain Punch is a very solid base 75 power move that will give Kommo-O back 50% of the damage to its HP, and with it being stabbed, you can expect to get some good health back under the right conditions. Finally, we close out the moveset of Alola Pseudo-Legend with Poison Jab. This one should be obvious, as the fairy typing will hit Kommo-O for ×4 damage. Poison Jab will help handle any lingering grass types that don't carry an extra typing that neutralizes that super effectiveness of Poison Jab, but it's also exclusively there to fight against a fairy type if need be. Like I said earlier, you preferably do not want to let Kommo-O be your Pokemon that does battle fairy types, but if you have no choice and you're perhaps in the process of sweeping an opposing team, Poison Jab has got your back. So that's going to do it for yet another best team. This was a cool one, tackling the small but strong pool of Pseudo-Legendaries in the Pokemon games. I have spoken about a lot of these Pokemon on previous best teams, but I'm glad to have brought them all together to make one very strong team. What do you guys think though? Would you rather have seen an appearance from Goodra, the one who got left out? Let me know in the comments below and let me know how this team worked for you. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Also, I've been reviewing every episode of My Hero Academia Season 4 over on MysticSage, so head over there if you're into that too. I would love that a lot. Want to support me further in game called Perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weiss Austin, Sodden Grider, Nigma97, and Kermit117 did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbran, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.